Hey everyone! Tonight we're going to continue making our spooky treat containers, and we're going to continue using the Spooky Night Designer Series paper. All of the materials are in our new holiday catalog that just came out yesterday. So the treat container we're going to use today will hold these little Hershey's nuggets that you see in the stores, but we're going to dress them up a little bit before we put them in these little treat container bags. You get 50 of these for $3, and they're 2 inches by 8 inches. So the first thing we're going to do is cut a strip of paper, and I cut this from the Spooky Night Designer Series paper. It's 1 inch by 12, and we're just going to take our tear and tape, which you've seen me use before, and you're going to put 2 strips down this 1 by 12 inch sheet of Designer Series paper. And again, the best thing about this is you just can tear it. You don't have to worry about cutting it. But we want it to be very sticky so that it'll stick to the foil on the Hershey nuggets. So we're just going to put 2 strips down it. And from that point, we're going to grab our Stampin' Trimmer, and we're going to cut this into 3 1/4 inch strips. So let me grab my trimmer. And like I said, we're going to cut it to 3 1/4 inch strips. It's very well marked right here, so there's 3 and there's 1/4. We'll just cut several of them while we're cutting. And then there's a sheet that's not quite long enough, but we'll set it to the side and maybe use it for another project. So I've done this using several different patterns so that when I'm done I'll have a variety in my bag. So the next step is just to take this, peel off the part that keeps the sticky from getting dusty, and then you're just going to put it on the back of your candy like so and wrap it around. And then you've got it dressed up just a little bit. I'll set these to the side, and here's some other ones I've done in advance so that you can see I've used a variety of the patterns. The next step is to take your candies and place them in one of the 2 by 8 inch bags. And I was waiting to get this one in there. So now it will hold 6, but I'm just going to go with 5. Because I think that's plenty for someone with a sweet tooth. We'll push those over. We're going to be using this set called Pick a Pumpkin. You can see it has it has pumpkins, and then you can change them into jack-o'-lanterns. This one, I'm going to show you something that I did with it that isn't quite traditional as a pumpkin at the end of the video. And then if you want to, you can purchase this add-on, which you would need a big shot to use, but it cuts out all of these shapes for you really fast. And I have another project where I'll show you using these. Now, the Pick a Pumpkin can come in wood or rubber mount. I like to buy the rubber mount and then mount them onto my blocks. You can use your paper pumpkin block. It also comes with stickers that you can put on the back of your stamps. I just don't like to do that because I like them just like they are. I can manipulate them and use them how I want. But you can, if you want to, peel that off and put it on there so you'll know which one it is. The next thing you're going to want to do is cut a strip of pumpkin pie cardstock that is 2 1/2 inches by 5. Then you're going to score it at 2 1/2 so that you have a little square. You're going to cut a piece of Very Vanilla, which is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4, so that it'll just mount on there like so. So let me grab my pumpkin pie ink. Here it is, pumpkin pie. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp. This is the large pumpkin. Now, if you wanted to, you could buy the wood blocks that come with this set. That is $21, and you get all the wood pieces that fit on each stamp. Or you can get this stamp set without the wood blocks, and it's $16. So I'm going to stamp this one at an angle, like so. Then I'm going to take this other pumpkin, this one, And I'm going to stamp off a little bit because I don't want the colors to be the same. I want to have a little variety. So I'm just going to grab a scrap sheet of paper and stamp off. And then I'm going to tilt this pumpkin this way. So you can see that gives you two different colors, and it looks like you used two ink pads, but you really didn't. Next, I'm going to grab my Memento ink. This one's really good for when you're doing watercoloring because it won't bleed, but I could have used any other black for this project because I'm not watercoloring. So the first face I'm going to use is the jack-o'-lantern face where he's got triangle eyes and a zigzag mouth. I think I'll put that face right there. Take that off. Next I'm going to use this one so it's a little bit of variety. And we'll put that one right there. So now I've got two smiling jack-o'-lanterns. The next step is to just take this piece that this 5 by 2.5 that you cut and scored, place it on your bag like that as a topper, and just take your stapler and put one staple right there in the middle because you're going to hide that when you glue your focal point on. We'll put my focal point right there. Add a little glue. Like so. We'll let that dry for just a minute. Now you can tell that it's not quite complete. It's missing something. So what I'm going to do is take some black baker's twine, and I'm going to run it across about 4 times to make sure I have plenty. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to double it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to grab it and double it because I want it to be a little thicker. We'll just take this, tie it right here, tie it in a bow. Raise it up a little bit. When I tie my bows, I have to fuss with them a little bit and just keep tightening them and loosening them like so until I get them exactly how I want them. Just takes a few minutes. But every time you stretch them, they get a little tighter. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to just snip these off at different sizes. And I'm going to use my fingernail and just pull this apart. Let's slide this up a little bit. And there you have a cute little treat bag filled with goodies for someone that you know and love. Now, I wanted to show you a couple more things I did with these little treat bags because it's not limited to just this. So you could also take and fill them with a different color of candy. These are Dove's Caramels, and I just tied a bow on it and left it like that. You don't have to make a topper. I also took some Hershey's Caramel Apple Treats. I found all these at Target, and this one is the same pumpkin as this one, but I stamped it in red to make it look more like an apple. And then this wood pattern designer paper back here is a set of designer series paper that comes in a 6 by 6 size, and you get this whole stack of different wood looks that you can use for baskets or lots of different cards and projects. And I think that's $9. I'm not sure. I'll look that up in the catalog for you in a minute. And then the last project I wanted to show with you with these little bags are these little apples. And what I did was just mimic a piece of candy. I tied off the ends and then frayed the edges. So there's 4 quick and easy projects that you can use with the little cellophane treat bags. Thanks for stopping by.